Although our focus is the Fibonacci time zone, it's still important to at least make some observations about price and outline certain ranges and levels, like in this case. When an existing downtrend sees a gap down form and price makes a fast short-term reversal, it's time to place a Fibonacci retracement from the last major downswing to this new upswing point. There are well-proportioned Fibonacci levels. Then we can move on to the Fibonacci time zone and try to place it on one of the first segments of the price range the retracement was based on, doing it in such a way that one time zone line runs through around where the most recent upswing began. Then, to get more recent context of price action after the gap down, place another Fibonacci time zone on that most recent upswing after the gap. Given the bearish advantage, it's not that surprising price drifts down lower, even with relatively low volume. And that price is going more neutral to bullish at the $1 boundary at the time where the 5 lines of both Fibonacci time zones come close together. In light of this bearish progression, lower the Fibonacci retracement's second point to that new lowest price. It covers the more recent context better while still maintaining those nice proportions with the retracement levels and extension levels, lining up with significant price ranges. Later intersections of the time zone lines and Fibonacci levels around the gap area highlight more long-term bearish events, but not all of them are covered. Most notably, the last major downswing from 140 during the transition from May to June. On to the next chart example, the first thing that leaps out is the consistent support when price drops into the roughly $10 to $8 range. In order to find out when this historic range could produce more bullish movement, as price drops into it once again, we can begin by placing a Fib time zone on that duration of the last very clear upswing from it. Right away, it proves to be highly valid and more likely to be reliable in the weeks ahead, because its first few lines run neatly through several clear swing points in the prior uptrend. Next, we can add another Fib time zone based on the first downswing of the current downtrend for more recent and relevant bearish context. Now let's see the results. Price presses lower, but support stands firm, and those time zone line intersections with support tend to be at and when upswings tend to form. Though not all are captured, especially as the spacing widens towards the 13 lines, as the Fibonacci sequence of numbers naturally grows. Then, as price is still pressing heavily on the center of support at the mid to upper $8 range, the bearish break and continuation are also highlighted quite close to when price trades during the time of the 34 and 13 time zone lines. And that's all quite normal, as the chart trades further away from the original intervals of the Fib time zones and price keeps selling down. Like the first example, price gaps down following an established long-term downtrend. The difference here is price is forming a much more defined horizontal range after the gap and is flattening more, making a more significant reversal more likely, meaning the gap fill at 200 could be contacted. To get an idea of when this could happen and how long resistance could be stronger around that price range, place a Fib time zone on the first upswing after the gap up in keeping with this bullish short to medium-term outlook. In the end, price does make very defined reversals and continuations close to the time zone lines. However, we do not get any intersecting around the 200 price range at the time price is trading up there. And that's why you watch these videos, to see cases where things don't always work out as planned, and examples where Fib tools don't always give perfect results, as is sometimes the case in the imperfect real world. Now, similar to before, we can add another Fib time zone by choosing an interval near the first time zone. In this case, the first downswing after the gap. This marks the approximate price and time when a major event happens at the gap fill near 200, when combining the time range covered by the 5 lines of both Fib time zones. In this case, it's more so continuation price action before price briefly spikes higher, then drops again. This imprecision is understandable, despite having highly valid Fib time zone lines and the clear 200 level to reference, because this is a volatile scenario where a gap down is filled with a gap up, so neat and stable price action is not expected. Also, as a bonus, the later fib time zone lines of this new fib time zone are also quite close to those of the first one, due to the placement of its starting interval, and that also helps mark the same ranges in time and price more clearly when price swung back up from 160 and later broke back under it. Speaking of volatility, check out these sharp moves with large candles. Since they are very clear reversal points, let's put a fib time zone on that first downswing. Then use that upswing in what is turning out to be the second half of a double top reversal range. The end result is the time zone lines mark the approximate completion of this bearish reversal pattern and tend to be around key developments in the preceding downtrend that follows, as price often slows down and accelerates near or directly during the appearance of the time zone lines. Later, they even quite precisely mark some recent downswings. Now, you may have noticed the second fib time zone could also have the option of being placed on this minor upswing. Moving to this placement produces similar results. The only reason we chose the other option was because it was the context of the double top range. This situation demonstrates how the fib time zone gives us multiple options rather than just one right or wrong choice in most cases. Since price has moved past the 13 lines of this pair of fib time zones and spacing is much wider, and price recently went bullish to neutral, it's time to explore new time zone placements. The volatility doesn't matter much again because the swing points are still quite sharp and clear. We can start at the first upswing and try various downswing variations. Only time will tell, but the intersections between these Fibonacci time zone lines and the mid to low $6 range lining up with the last major upswing are likely areas where major events could happen, both in terms of price and time range, in the form of bullish upswings or reversals, and potential areas where sell-offs could continue to accelerate the larger downtrend. Next, we have a kind of reverse situation with well-defined support and a double bottom reversal range that is struggling to complete. Nonetheless, it's the same idea. Place fib time zones based on the structure of the double bottom range and its potential to start a significant uptrend with subsequent swing points. Results are quite all right considering the bullish acceleration is slow to rise, and even months after and when price passes the 13 time zone lines, some major events run through later time zone lines. Moving from this upswing to this upswing also produces decent results, since it is still based around the context of the double bottom reversal range.